Welcome to tonight's call. We're here to take a good look at the Aurum Foundation. My job is simply an educator just to share my own thoughts, my own opinions. Please don't take this as financial advice. I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA. I'm only here as an educator. I've taken a look at this and just to give you my own thoughts and opinions. What's important to me is who's behind this, who's operating, who the CEO is, and I was pleasantly surprised to find that Mr. Brian Benson is the CEO of Aurum. Originally from United States and worked in Morgan Stanley Bank, where he was a trader over there, and then he moved into Web3. Web3 is blockchain. He moved over there, started developing apps and technology. He was an ambassador for Algorand, the blockchain, and then he was hired by Binance. But what a job did he do there? Brian's job was to open up all of Central and Southern America. He opened up everywhere from Mexico to Brazil at the bottom and everything in between. Those companies were opened in his name, and once he established those markets, Binance overwrapped his business and it became Binance Latam. Brian, of course, was the managing director in Binance, and the volume that this man brought to Binance was 20% of the entire global revenue. Now, Binance is one of those companies that I suppose it came from nowhere. It's described as a unicorn. It actually was faster than Facebook, faster than Microsoft, faster than Apple, faster than Tesla to $1 billion. And Brian was a big part of that. So, what does that tell us? It tells us at least we have somebody with experience, at least we have somebody with connections that's steering the ship, that's captaining the Aurum ship. And I think I don't think there's anybody better actually to bring forward the Aurum platform. I did a quick Google search on him. I typed in his name there, Bryan, if you were going to do that. I just put the name Binance, if you can see there, just behind his name, just in case there was lots of different Brian Bensons. But this is the Brian Benson. You can see images here when he was much younger. You can see up-to-date photographs. In fact, this photograph here on the left-hand side, that's one used there in the presentation. We can see him here on Google coming up again. This image is popping up a few times. And this was used for Forbes. Now, Forbes is a very reputable media company. I would say that anyway, because Forbes do a lot of interviewing CEOs. They create the rich lists, who are the richest people in North America, who are the top 100 richest people in Asia. And Forbes need to do a lot of data pulling, a lot of gathering information before they create these lists. And they've got to report properly. So I was pleasantly surprised to read that Forbes had said Aurum is providing institutional grade trading. Now, institutional grade trading is what the banks use. It's what the big finance houses like BlackRock would use. It's not what I would call trading from the Wild West, somebody at home trying to trade. No, this is a different governance, different risk management, and I was very pleased to see that. I then just learned that Forbes have nominated Mr. Brian Benson, the CEO of Aurum, to be on the Forbes Finance Council. Now, that is some accolade to be handpicked by Forbes to represent their finance council when they talk about topics such as blockchain, Web3, AI, etc. But it doesn't surprise me. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. The next thing that sat well with me was the fact that the issuing bank of these Visa cards have obviously done their due diligence on this company. They would obviously know who Brian Benson is. They've maybe checked out the directors and owners. They've probably looked at licensing, maybe even asked for last year's account. I don't know what would be required, but certainly I know that Visa would not allow Aurum to co-brand unless they'd done their due diligence and unless they were happy to partner up with this arrangement. So that's another tick for the box here with Aurum. But as I said, Brian now is seen to travel the world. He was at the Ethereum conference in Argentina this year. He also spoke at Token 2049. This is the largest blockchain summit on the planet. This happened back in early October, the same time the Formula One was on. 25,000 people showed up. The tickets were 999 US dollars. Let's call it $1,000. And 25,000 people showed up to see the likes of this man. And of course, Brian Benson was there campaigning and putting the word out for Aurum. He's out there building the brand, looking for partnerships. creating liquidity partners for his exchange, because Brian's now building the Aurum exchange. And if that goes well, well, that could be very, very exciting for those that participate. We know what he did back at Binance, so if he can do that again, some people are in for a very good ride here. Now, Richard Teng, a friend of Brian's, was also speaking at this event. Richard and Brian worked together at Binance. Richard actually got the job of CEO inside Binance. And I suppose many of you would be glad to hear that, because if Brian had got the CEO role at Binance, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation today. So lots of people are quite pleased that now Brian is the CEO of the Aurum platform. Just recently as well, at the very end in December 2025, Brian was also speaking at the blockchain summits around the UAE. They had a big finance week there, and Brian was on stage on different events in that region. He was interviewed by Wendy O, a very, I suppose, well received social media influencer. A great interview there if you want to have a listen to that. And then, if you look at this image on your screen, you'll see that Brian Benson, the CEO of Aurum, was sitting on a panel alongside. These are industry experts. We're talking about the co-founder of Sandbox, if you've heard of Sandbox, the co-founder of 1inch, sitting on a panel alongside the CEO of Aurum. And that just tells you, the accolade just tells you the knowledge and the respect that they have for this gentleman to put him on stage here to talk about Aurum. Now, moving away from the company, let's take a quick look at their products and the ecosystem. They're developing this point of sale terminal. The idea of this is to support shops in a very different way than they've presently been supported. We know most shops have one of these point of sale terminals. However, this one's a little bit different. This one accepts cryptocurrency payments. This one we can settle the accounts much faster than the traditional banking rails. If you went to have a coffee in a shop and you presented your Visa card, yes, you paid for your coffee, but the shopkeeper has not been paid at this stage. That goes to Visa or MasterCard. And depending on the products, it could take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even 4 weeks before that shopkeeper even gets those funds. And when they do get those funds, they don't receive the full $5. There's obviously fees. What this machine does is it allows shops to invite customers into their store, because they could put up a sign, for instance, we accept cryptocurrency payments. And that would draw in an additional batch of customers that normally may have not gone to that shop, given that they would have the ability to use their crypto wallets to buy their coffees or whatever shop that's using this machine. So not only that will they get new business, secondly, we can reduce the fees. And thirdly, we can speed up the payments so they have better cash flow. Great opportunity for shopkeepers. For the community that put this into the shops, for instance, if you were one of the business partners that actually offered this to a shop, they're designing at the moment micropayments, meaning that if it was you that got this into the store, you'd be receiving micropayments every time this device was used. So great opportunity for the affiliates as well. They're also developing an ATM machine. This is going to be two-way ATMs, meaning you can put cash into the machine like a vending machine, and it will produce cryptocurrency to your digital wallet. But alternatively, you can also generate a QR code from your digital wallet, present it to the ATM machine, and take out cash. Whether that's depends where these machines are actually uh, located. The ATM machines are further down the line, but what's really ready to go now in January 26 will be the point of sale terminals will be ready for production. They have the prototypes there. They're working on the final pieces of software, and they will be able to demonstrate this in January 2026. After that, it'll probably go into production and roll out. That's just a couple of their products. They've also got an exchange. This is a very difficult thing to accomplish. If you ask yourself now, could you name me 10 cryptocurrency exchanges? There's a question. Could you name me 10 cryptocurrency exchanges? You'd probably say, well, yes, Binance and Coinbase and Kraken and OKX and KuCoin and MEXC and Bit something, Bit, I don't know, there's some Bit Gets or Bit This is or Bit That's, Crypto.com. I'm struggling. I'm struggling at 8. But you know what I'm saying? So that lets you know that this is not something easily accomplished. You need liquidity. If somebody showed up here tomorrow with a Bitcoin, there needs to be $90,000 immediate liquidity to exchange that. So the liquidity is already in place. And it's only somebody like Brian Benson that could put this type of thing together based on his connections, based on his experience. You'll be able to swap your coins over here. You'll be able to trade there if you're interested in that. I have no interest in trading. But there is another product on this exchange, and this is their liquidity product. This is fabulous, I think. Um, this allows you to stake of your coins to benefit to the tune of 17 to 20% a year. These are annual yields, 17 to 20% a year. Now, this certainly beats the banks. They're not likely to produce 17 to 20% a year. It beats real estate. Typically, real estate will produce 5 to 10% a year. It beats gold. You'll hardly do 10% a year in gold. But here, to park your little bit of Bitcoin and to generate like 18% a year, much better than property. And liquid. What does that mean, liquid? It means if you need it out, you can take it out immediately. There's no lock in on time. And you get your rewards on a daily basis. You don't wait to the end of the month to get paid. You get paid fractionally daily based on the staking rewards. So there's a great product there, and that's already up and running. Here's a customer here deposited 1,000 USDT. You can see it's already 1,008.94 USDT. So this customer is receiving little bits of dollars every single day added to his balance um, based on its staking here. The same customer put in zero point 0.1 Bitcoin to test this, and you can see now it's 0.10018. It's fractionally every day. This customer is getting or receiving Bitcoin payments every day to their wallet. And many people have coins sitting on their wallets doing nothing. The market's going up and down, but their coins are sitting stagnant. Here's an opportunity. And many exchanges do this, but to offer 17 to 20% a year, this is a fabulous product. Let's now listen to Brian Benson himself. You've heard enough from me, but Brian Benson has had immense experience with Binance. He's been there, done it. He's created thousands of millionaires over there. He's got a passion and a goal to achieve 1,000 millionaires here at Aurum. Let's have a listen to him.
We're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people turn into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield-bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally. Is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. Yeah. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at Aurum is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
So you can actually hear it in his voice and that twinkle in his eyes as he smiles there, saying, he feels it that what he had in Binance back in those days, he feels that energy here, and he wants to create 1,000 millionaires. Over at Binance, remember, Brian was only the managing director. Here, he's the CEO, and he would love to be. I suppose when we always want to be remembered for something. What did we do? If this was the man that created 1,000 millionaires, well, what a title that would be, and that is his mission. To get involved in the platform is not free, by the way. There's a $20 annual subscription, just like your gymnasium subscription. If you pay to go into the gym, you can use all of their equipment. You can use their weightlifting. You can use their running machines, their rowing machines. You can use their sauna, the steam room. Same here. For $20, you can use the products. There are quite a few products, and we've mentioned a few of them, but this would be a favorite of many people. This is the EXAI bot. It's been around since 2023. It was reserved only for what we call accredited investors, the high net worth individuals, the venture capitalists, VCs. I believe Brian Benson closed a $12 million deal, and that's according to Forbes had written this. He closed a $12 million deal when initial venture capitalists tested this bot out when they came to test this bot out. So I have no doubt they're very, very pleased with the results to date. In September 2024, they opened the doors to a pre-launch to the exchange launching. And the idea was if they opened it up in an affiliate style program, it would allow many, many users from around the world. It would enable a lot of token holders, wallet holders, which would be very, very important for the success of the exchange. So only in September 24 did they decide to open the doors to this particular product. I heard about it in April 25 as a matter of interest. Now, by November 25, this bot on itself was trading around $56 million. It's much more than that today. And this is one of 7 products they have. They have 7 of these AI agent bots. And this is only one I'm telling you about. How it works is very simple. You'll be able to download a banking application from Google and from Apple Pay, Apple Store. And when you download the Aurum Neo Bank, that's your banking application. You'll have different wallets in there. I think they give you about 8 different wallets, a Bitcoin wallet. You'll have your own Ethereum wallet in there, your USDT wallet. You'll have an Aurum token wallet. You'll have a Polygon wallet. BNB, about 8 different wallets you'll have, and you can fund those wallets, your own wallets. And depending on what you deposit to your own account, uh, you will achieve a certain reward based on that deposit. So let's say, for instance, you tried $140. Well, $140 falls into this first threshold here, the basic threshold. Those customers would enjoy approximately 10% a month. This is not fixed. Trading moves, as you know, but uh, while past performance is not indicative of any future results, uh, the company have seen over its 2 years trading history that the averages is about 10% for accounts of this size. For those customers that can manage more than that, let's say you're able to do $300 or $470 or $901. There is no fixed package. It's what you deposit, but you can see that will fall into the second category and get benefits for about 11% a month. For those of you that can do between 1 and 2,500, those customers will get 12%, etc., etc. You can see obviously the higher the deposit to your own account, the better the reward that you can achieve. And now the average across the whole fund is about 17.5%. Bearing in mind you don't get that. What you get is determined by your deposit. But the good thing to know is that the company's always making money. That's important. We need a company that's going to be around. We need a strong company. So for those customers that are getting 10%, you can see quite clearly that the company's getting that difference. They're getting what you call the spread. Okay, so the company would get 7% on the accounts that are getting 10%. For those of you that enjoy 11% a month, then the company makes 6% on those accounts. For those of you that get 12, the company makes 5, etc. So you can actually see the majority of customers will probably be in the $100 category up to maybe, I'm just guessing, 4,999. I would imagine the bulk of the customers will be in this lower thresholds, and therefore this is where the company makes its most money. The higher net worth customers that can do the bigger amounts, well, do get a bigger percentage, but they are less a burden on customer support. They're accredited investors, and they do get a better reward. But here's the good news: you can actually trade your way up to a higher category. You can actually trade up over time, or you can top up. Is another way to jump from one category to another. Let's suggest you $200 to try this, and next month you manage to find another $50. You could actually top up the account and jump in to a higher category and get 11%. That's what I mean by a top up. In terms of withdrawals, you can withdraw your profits every single day. I've been speaking to several customers, and that's what they've been doing. They withdraw profits every day. This is for those of you that need cash flow. If you have bills to pay and you need the money coming every week and every day, you can withdraw profits every day. The principal on this account can also be withdrawn, but only on the first day of each month, on the 10th day of each month, and on the 20th day. So there are only 3 days of the month that the principal portion can also be taken from the platform. Now, this particular bot, even though there are 7, this particular one has been designed as a 12-month plan. But of course, if you need to take it early, that's fine. If there's an emergency, we understand that. It is subject to an early retirement fee, but that's kind of negligible after 2 or 3 months. You'll have made enough profit to cover that anyway. So a very, very nice product. I can show you two customer accounts. This is one with a small deposit of $500. It was created on the 17th of April. You'll see that on the left-hand side. It was created 17th of April. If you now cast your eyes to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you'll notice we're looking here at the 17th of September. Now, this provides for us a 5-month trading period from 17 April to 17 September is exactly 5 months, and this account has achieved $382 in profits. Okay, it was started with 500. It's now sitting at 882 at this point, and that represents a very handsome 76%. You take the profit, which is the 382, you put it over the 500 deposit, you divide the bottom number into the top number, and it works out at 76%. This beats the bank. This beats real estate, and this beats gold. It's incredible. 76%. Ain't seen anything like it. And let's move on and show you a larger account. There are customers out there that prefer a larger type account. The account we're now looking at was started on the 10th of April. You can see that on the left hand side. The account number ends in the numbers 1972. And if we now go to the right hand bottom corner, we're taking a timestamp here on the 16th of May. So commenced 10th of April. 10th of April to 10th of May is 1 month. 10th of April, 10th of May is 1 month. And then from the 10th of May to the 16th of May is 6 more days. So this is for 1 month and 6 days. That's what we're looking at. Allow me to round it up to 5 weeks. It's not 5 weeks, but let's say it's 5 weeks. In this period, this account ending in 1972 has jumped from $10,000 all the way up to $12,360. This customer has achieved 23% in 5 weeks. Really, really sensational. After 10 weeks, this is the same account on the 24th of June, the same account ending in 1972 had made its way further on to $15,500. After 3 months, it was sitting at 17,500. And after 4 months, this customer had the luxury of doubling the account. The 10,000 is now sitting at slightly over 20,000. We can see that. Now, please don't ever go out and say, oh, we saw an account that the customer made 20,000 in 4 months. That is not correct. The customer deposited 10,000, so he only made 10,000, not 20,000. 20,000 is in the account, granted, but the profitability was only 10,000 off that 20. So very, very important to get your numbers right and your facts right. However, that was back on the 10th of August, as we can see. So it's quite interesting because we were able to catch up with this customer again 4 months later. So August, September, October, November, and in December 25, we were able to have another look at the account. And here it is again. It's account ending in 1972. It was on the 10th of April. I think you can see that. And look at the account balance now, 39,000. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see this was the 10th of December 2025. So the account opened the 10th of April. 8 months later is the 10th of December. In 8 months, this account has done 4 times. The 10,000 is now almost $40,000. In fact, if you look at the account above it, you see the account ending in 08F, the one that commenced on the 17th of April. That's actually the little account we showed you earlier, where the $500 went to 882. Have a look at it today. It's sitting at $1,200 in quite a short period. And of course, we now can see that this customer has got more confidence. In September, they've obviously put in, it looks like $25,000 there. And in October, they've put in another 43,000. So the big boys are playing here too, as the little customer. There appears to be something here for everyone. With that said, that's not financial advice. I'm only showing you illustrations of live customer data, of real customer data, and in some way that might help you come to some kind of decision whether you would like to examine this further or go seek that professional or financial advice before you do any program such as this. Now, that what we looked at was the EXI bot. That's the number one product. It's the longest standing and it's the most popular and it's the most profitable. They do have other bots which are not just quite as popular, but I think over time they will. I asked questions about this particular one, They have one here called the Pro bot and another one called the Zeus. And in fact, there are 6 bots trading here. You'll find these either on the Telegram decentralized communication platform, but you'll also find these on the App Store. Google and Apple Pay will have that as well. And there are 6 bots over there. They do not just quite as well as the EXI, but nonetheless, there's specific reasons why you might try some of these. In fact, there's no lock-in on deposits here. You can take profit and principal any day you like. You know, not on the 3 days like we looked at the EXI bot. There are other advantages as well. They trade Bitcoin only with the dollar as a pair. There's another one that trades BNB, that's the Binance token. It trades it against the dollar. There's another one that trades Ethereum. So these are specific bots designed a little bit different for, let's call it a balanced portfolio, if that's what you were looking for. But again, maybe attend one of the training events or get back to the person that shared this with you. They might be able to fill you in on those details. But I think for an overview, understanding one bot is enough. And maybe if you tried that for 2 or 3 weeks, then maybe you'd like to engage and try some of the other products. And that brings me to the end of the presentation, Bar talking about this fantastic card. This is the Aurum Infinity card I'm going to talk about. They will have 4 different versions, but this one we're talking about requires no KYC. Now, KYC means know your client or know your customer, but in this case, your name is not required. You don't need to provide a copy of your passport, your driver's license, or a bank statement. That's not required for this. Is You'll get this on the banking app, and you can also get this on Telegram, which is decentralized communication channel. You can put up to 100,000 a month. Whoever needs that balance, I don't know, but up to 100,000 a month. If you need more than 100,000 on a card, then you are required to provide your KYC documentation and anti-money laundering documentation. This does already work on Apple and Google Pay. You can see the symbols there in the bottom right. The loading fee here is 2.2%, which is not bad. You don't need to go and find an exchange. It can be done here. You simply stop the bot from trading, you press top up and send it straight onto your card. So it's quite good. You can also import your crypto from anywhere. Let's say you have a little bit of USDT sitting on, I don't know, on Coinbase or on Binance or on Trust Wallet or MetaMask. You can import that to your own banking app and just send it straight onto your card. So you have the flexibility of spending crypto anywhere in what we call a predominantly fiat-based world right now. So a really, really good product. There are going to be 4 versions. 2 versions will require KYC and 2 will not require it. And that gives customers choices. You have a choice whether you want to go KYC or a choice not to, depending on your jurisdiction, depending on the law applicable to your country or jurisdiction as well. In addition to that, we talked earlier about the exchange. The exchange I showed you is a centralized exchange, and that's fine. You will be required to do KYC there when you do withdrawals more than $2,000 a day. But they will, in the future, create a decentralized exchange. And that's something again to look forward to. So they appear to be a company that's offering, I suppose, choices. That's really what I'd like to say. Some of the cards are going to start as low as $33, one-time fee, no monthly fees. There's going to be a $66 card, a $99 card, and of course, the big guy there, the Aurum Infinity card is a $249 card, but it's the one with the biggest limit. It's the one with the lowest fee. So there's just depending on your own circumstances, I'm sure there's something there to suit everyone. So what I'd like to finish with today is just a demonstration to show you the card working. This gentleman has had cards from June 25. He got his card in June 25, I believe. And what he did was he stopped the trading going on in his banking app, and he sent the profit to the card. He went top up and sent the money onto the card, and then he was sent down to the local grocery store to grab some milk, and here's how he got on.
Here we go then, second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, Mina.
Thank you.
There you go. Imagine using cryptocurrency in shops around the world. It's also been tested and tried at the ATM machines. which is phenomenal as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my overview. As I said, it's just my own opinions, my own due diligence. You're highly recommended to go and do your own, of course. And with that said, please do get back to the person that shared this information with you. Get your very, very valid questions answered. And I hope the decision you come to is the right decision for you and your family. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.